Previously on Jeep Roscoe. There's Lake Dambleyoung, and here's a full-size replica of the Bluebird. So we made it to Wave Rock. Not really sure if it's a better idea to stay here or get out. Look at the colour on the water. It's an old quarry that's been filled in. And of course with the name Delilah, which literally means Wales. How could I not go there? So effectively I would have done the Nullarbor in 2 days. Quite famous. They really got some nice beaches. So that ticking noise you can hear in the engine, hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be the last time you hear it today. I'm taking it into the garage. The parts have just arrived from the US. It's basically a new bearing and washer for the camshaft, and if the camshaft is damaged, they're going to replace the camshaft itself as well. It's probably going to cost me about $2,500 Australian. I'd love to have done it myself, but I haven't got that many tools, and frankly I don't know what I'm doing, so the easiest option. I've offered to do a bit of photography and a bit of website development for them, so hopefully they'll take me up on that offer for a discount, but we'll wait and see. But I've asked them to do a service as well, because I've just hit 80,000 kilometers and I'll be going up north soon. I won't have another chance to do it, so hopefully that's going to be the end of it, and no more issues with Delilah, hopefully. Okay, so we just picked up Delilah from Maddie Hall's premium service, where they've serviced Delilah for me and hopefully got rid of the tick. We'll find out when we start the engine now. Okay, here's the moment of truth. Has Delilah's tick gone? Okay, once the beeping stopped, because I haven't got my... There we go. Can you hear that? No more beeping. So this morning we're going to go for a short little drive up to the town of Harvey, which is probably about 20 minutes north of where I am in Australand. Picked up the Jeep yesterday from the garage, so the tick is gone, the camshaft has been replaced, so it's all good. Got to go back to the garage next Wednesday because they discovered whilst doing a service that the bearing in the rear left-hand wheel is going, so I'm going to get that sorted before going up north as well. So today's just a short little trip. Harvey is a small little town. It's horse country. There's a lot of milk produced there as well, cheese, etc. as well. So we'll do a little explore. It also happens to be the town where I'm due to have my citizenship ceremony at the start of April. So I'm going to have a quick little squiz at the town hall to see what it's like, basically, just to familiarise myself with the area and give Delilah a good little stretch of the legs. One thing I've noticed since the service is they must have tightened up the clutch or something, because the biting point for the clutch is now extremely small. Like it used to be up here, so like when you learn the clutch out, it used to be around about the extent of it, but now it's like right down the bottom. So when I release the clutch, it's like there. So that's going to take quite a bit of getting used to. It's a bit clunky now when I'm going, because I'm expecting binding point to be up here somewhere, but it's like there. Anyway, off to Harvey. Beautiful day. This should get up to about 34 degrees today, I think, so hopefully not too warm. A really lovely little setting here at the Harvey Visitor Centre. Just outside of Harvey and the Visitor Centre over here, there's a little cafe here right on the gardens called Stirling Cottage. You go try it? Alright, so I just had a really fantastic lunch at the Stirling Cottage. I'm just walking around the gardens of said cottage. There's the actual cottage there behind the fountain. Beautiful outlook over these gardens whilst you're eating if you sit outside. Just come across this sign in their gardens about Harvey oranges. Harvey, as well as being horse country and dairy country, is also orchard country, namely oranges. So you can get Harvey milk and Harvey juices quite predominantly here in Western Australia in supermarkets. So yeah, it's quite a produce-rich place, really. There's some hornets up here. I don't know if you can see them. Yes, bloody hornets. But yeah, there's the river that runs around this property. So whilst I was sitting, I was looking over the river there, but it wraps all the way around the gardens and goes underneath the road over there. Let's see if I can figure out which river it is, but it is a rather beautiful spot. And after walking through the gardens, you can walk through the orchards here, and you can see that there's limes on the tree, and I'm not sure if these are limes or very early oranges, maybe, because they're quite large. But yeah, I quite like Harvey. It's not near the beach, but as I said, it's very kind of rich pastoral land and strong food producer. You got these benches and seating areas dotted around the place, as well as little archways like that one, which lead you down to the river. But quite a beautiful spot. The menu at the Stirling Cottage is quite extensive, but only as far as light lunches go. Well, I say light lunches. My pie and chips was very substantial, so it's not what I'd call a light lunch, but they describe them as light lunches. Sadly, no breakfast options. I don't know whether or not that's just because I got here a bit late. It's 11 o'clock, so maybe. We don't know. Down to the river. Some hydrangeas, seen better days. There's a mix of pinks and violets, which means that the soil has got a mixture of acidity and alkaline. They are nature's pH. There's a little bird in the water there. I think that is a booby. I might be wrong, but I think it is. Yeah, so you got a nice little walkway that comes down the river. Beautiful spot. So a quick look on Google Maps. This seems to be the overflow from Harvey Dam, and according to Google Maps it doesn't go far after this, so it may not actually have a name to this river. It might be just a contributory. It really is a beautiful spot. Just found a sign up at Harvey River. So it turns out that this little section of the river was restored in 1998 as a reflection of what the original river would have been like. It was redirected so it helped drain the fertile land so they could farm it, and just goes now directly out to sea rather than meandering through the fields. But this is what it originally would have looked like. So yeah, a little bit about Harvey River and the diversion of it. 1930s. Probably named after Admiral Sir John Harvey. So the Aboriginal name for this area was known as Korajeka. Not exactly sure how to say it, I'm afraid. There's the original kind of depiction of Harvey River and how it meandered through the fields, and it was a bit of a swampland basically. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that little bit of wording, but the English of it is below. Today we come from many lands and we share many dreams. We share the songs as we share the land. No, I'm not going to attempt it, sorry. I don't want to embarrass myself or the original language. You can see in the fields on the other side of the road the white picket fences. That's indicative of horse country, because horses can see the fence easier when they paint it white, make it more obvious. As opposed to like a normal fence, for example, it might have barbed wire on the top. If a horse bolts, it'll try and jump over it. These are more horse friendly. Now, obviously I can't put my head through here, but yeah, look. So obviously you can put your head through here and pretend to be a Harvey cow. Well, it turns out the visitor centre here is closed. Here I am outside it. It's got a little QR code on the door saying scan me for more information about what's happening, and a quick little scan of the website it takes me to. That basically Harvey are closing most of their business centres, which I don't exactly know why. I'm not going to read their tourism report, but hardly seems like a good idea to me. So this place is going to be up for a long-term lease along with the Stirling Cottage behind. I hope nothing drastic happens. So we're at Harvey Dam. Just gonna see if we can walk out on it or something. There is a road, but the road's closed. Google was trying to tell me to go out around it. It's a big like command center over there, making sure nobody does anything. It looks quite ominous. But, there we are. Harvey Dam. That helps feed this fertile land. Only person. There is like a picnic area further down, so maybe that's where all the locals go. I don't know. It doesn't look like you can swim or any kind of water sports in this dam. Not really sure, to be honest with you. But usually, if you can, there's like, you know, slip areas where you can take your boat in and stuff, and there's nothing apparently obvious on Harvey Dam. And here we come across a marker saying that it's Harvey Reservoir, so yes, probably not. There we go. Closed waters, no motorised vehicles, electric powered vessels are exempt. So you can take an electric vessel on. It probably means this is predominantly used for drinking water. Yeah, and you can also fish for marron and freshwater angling. So it looks like they've got rainbow trout, brown trout and perch in here. There we are. Harvey Dam. So I guess we're at the midpoint where it says car park boat ramp. I didn't spot a boat ramp, I have to say. Anyway, nice little spot. Marron or yabbies, depending on where you're from in Australia, what do you call them, are a pest, so you can catch them. Yeah, you don't see a lot of places that got rainbow and brown trout in Australia, so that's neat. They don't seem to do a lot of fly fishing here in Australia. I guess that's because they got an abundance of other fish that they can fish off the beach and rivers and whatnot. Anywho. Okay, let's go back into Harvey Town proper and have a little scout around there. I kind of bypassed it earlier because I was a bit hungry, and Stirling Cottage been recommended to me, so I made a beeline for that. Also something here again about the Noongar 6 seasons that I've touched upon in other episodes. Basically the Aboriginals used to manage the land based on these 6 seasons rather than the 4 European seasons, I guess. And it kind of makes a lot more sense because, you know, this country is very different from the ones found in Europe, so it doesn't have the natural cycles. This one's faded a little bit, whereas about some of the protection work they do into care for the cockatoos around here. Cockatoos in this area include the Baudin's cockatoo, the Carnaby's cockatoo, and the forest red-tailed black cockatoo. Seems like wherever I go, the black-tailed cockatoos, or red-tailed, i.e. black with red tails, seem to be endangered. On Kangaroo Island, there they call it the glossy black cockatoo, basically big black cockatoo with red stripes on the tail feathers. Very much endangered. There the situation is that they only feed on one source of food, which is drooping tree oak, which is predominantly being cut down for well, because it serves no purpose to man, I guess. And remarkably sky-Irish bird. If another corella or something comes near its nest, it'll just abandon it, even if it's got young in the next nest, or possums or anything like that. It just, whoop, I'm out of here. So you can see why that one's endangered. So now I'm officially an Australian. As you would have seen from the photos and the video, I had my citizenship ceremony last night in the town of Harvey. As you may remember, I went up there to explore where it was going to happen a few weeks ago. And yeah, so now essentially there's nothing to stop my journey north. I'm getting all the stuff together, getting the car packed, etc. Last few things needed. But on the way to the citizenship ceremony, I had, but see that? Don't know if you can focus on it, but yes, a road train coming the other way flicked up a stone, and now I've got a huge chip right in the middle of my field of view. As you can see there, it looks like a big bug on the windscreen. That's the chip. It's about the size of a 10-cent piece, or about 2 centimeters in diameter. So my insurance, thankfully, with RAA, instead of South Australia, covers me for unlimited windscreen replacement, thankfully, touch wood. But there's a delay, so I've got to wait until Tuesday now. It's Thursday today, and I've got to wait until next week for them to come and replace the windscreen. It's too big to fill with epoxy, so they're going to have to replace the entire windscreen, which reminds me I'll need to get my Parks Pass replaced because it's on the windscreen. And I've just come back from Bunbury, and I knew I had something left to do there, and it was to go to the Parks office and get a new one. Oh well, I'll have to do that tomorrow. Next week on Jeep Roscoe. This little spot here has a chair